So meanwhile, okay, are we ready to introduce our next speaker?
Oh yes, definitely. Okay, so our next speaker, okay, she is the Singapore first tactical parenting strategist. That's not all. She is also an international speaker, online course creator, parenting and study coach, and also a co-author of a book on parenting tips. So for all the parents out there, okay, definitely you have to listen to this, okay, especially if you want your kid to be able to excel, to get good grades, to go into the school, that is actually in the top, range, right? Definitely you need to listen to Jasline.
That's right. So any parents out here, if you are a parent, can you please type P for parent? So I think it's very interesting when I read her story and introduction, right? Is that how she actually started doing these parenting courses is because of her own personal experience with her own son. Yeah. So how many of you have got, behavioral issues with your children, right? Why every time you gotta scold your kid lah? Hey, behave properly talk nicely study hard lah. Wow, all these things, right? I mean, I'm not a parent. Are
you sound like my parents.
Oh no! Yeah, no. I hear from my brother and my sister-in-law to their nieces.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not a parent myself. Okay, you also not a parent, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah, single and available.
Yes.
Yes,
wow.
Okay, both here single and available. Please, everybody, if you want to apply, please, just send your application to the next level.
You can get the link somewhere around this video. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, for those of you who really have issues with your children, or you want your relationship with your children to grow even better, to help them achieve their full potential, well, ladies and gentlemen, this upcoming speaker is your woman. Okay, she's none other than Jasline Loves. So please help me to welcome Jasline. Type J for Jasline. Yay! Hi, Jasline.
Thank you, Shanna.
Yes,
来，我们要笑了。
Okay, come. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Okay, so it's so privileged to be here, to be sharing with everyone, whether you're a parent or you're not a parent or you're parent to be, I think it's extremely important we hear how we can motivate young people. Maybe you're a teacher as well. Yeah, a tutor. Yeah, so fantastic to be here.
All right, so while we are getting all the presentation up, so just to do a quick check, how many of you here are parents? You're parents, right? Can you just type in the letter P inside the chat?
Or how old your child is, yeah, that would be great,
Jasline, how old is your child?
15 and 18, teenage.
15 and 18?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know why. She looks very young still.
You can see the picture later. Yeah. So thank you for all the introductions,
Yeah,
Okay.
Meg says hers is 12 and 12 plus and 14.
Yes. Very difficult age, I would say, right? You agree, Meg? Yeah. So that's always happening when your child are growing up. They will have those rebellious side of it, and that's when parenting really needs to start really young. Okay, that's very important.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hear from Jasline on
All right.
Driven to Raise High Achievers.
Yes. Okay. So I want to say thanks to Sean's team, Rowan and Shannon, and wonderful introduction of myself. And I'm here to really, this is a Driven 2022, right? So this is just the second month of the year. And there's always something we can do for our children, okay? And I want to inspire every single one, whether you want to raise high achievers or your child is just maybe just wanting to pass the exams, right? I would think that it's still very important for us to learn, okay, invest time and to know what you can help for your child, all right? So, okay, too high tech. Okay. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so still till the end of my talk, okay, so I'm going to give you a very exclusive webinar just with me. You can ask all the questions you want, and of course you have a free ebook, okay? So this is my own system where I coach my students and parents to help their children to achieve their potential. So stay till the end so you get the link to my webinar, right? Okay, so let's all start with a quote by Ziglar, okay? He's a motivational speaker, and I like this particular quote, which you can learn 3 important things already, right? So he says, to raise positive kids, we as parents must identify the qualities necessary for success, okay? So it's important. Convince our children that they have the potential for success and show them how to stake their claims in life. Okay, so there's 3 important words we have to understand here is identify the qualities necessary for success, which we are going to do later. Convince our children, okay, that is part of parenting, and to tell them that how to stake their claims in life, because we want to prepare them for life, right? So I'm super inspired, So we start with the definition of high achiever, right? So to me, right, excellence in academics is a must. Okay, but if your child has certain talents, like he's a very good sportsman or he's a good dancer, all these are also talents. And of course, there must be achievements, which I put the picture over there. There must be recognition of his efforts, and he has won something or he has achieved very good grades. Okay, and lastly, the most important thing I put it in yellow is driven and motivated, because this is really something that is in the child itself, and you can tell that if he's driven and motivated, right, a lot of things he will definitely do it. All right. So thank you for all your messages, and maybe you could also engage with me by telling what is your most problems that you have about your child's studies, so you also can actually understand, right? So my next one is my story. Okay, so everybody loves stories, right? So just now Shannon has said that she has heard about my story about my son, right? And of course, I'm going to tell you another story, which is a parent, which I've been mentoring. And then she actually thinks that if you have achievers as children, right, it's your luck. Okay, but let me tell you, it's not luck. It's conscious effort every single day, consistently and driven, okay, to want to make a difference in your child's life. Okay, so this is my story. I'm going to start with my son's story first. Okay, so he has achieved, okay, and it's important I share the achievement so that you understand that, it's not 1 day or 2 days it happens. It has to be through a period of time, and everyone can start by doing something for your child. Okay, he actually attained his results in a PSLE, which is a national exam, when he's 12 years old, and I'm with him throughout the 12 years in his studies, and he's in the top 10% in a cohort in Singapore, and he's selected to be in the gifted program, okay, in Hwa Chong Institution. By saying that, it doesn't mean that he has actually attained a very high IQ when he's young, okay, he doesn't. So it's through his motivation as well as his efforts in mathematics that he has attained a certain score, and then when after his PSLE, he get to be chosen to be in the gifted program. And not only that, after Sec 1, Sec 2, he also has achieved a certain grades in these 2 subjects, and he was selected to be in the Science Maths Talent Program. So if you are familiar with this, is that there are a very selected few that get to be interacting with the universities in Singapore and doing projects with them. So by giving your children more chances, better grades, right, they can also be exposed to more opportunities. All right. So my daughter is 18 this year, and she's also in the integrated program. That means she doesn't need to do O levels, but concentrating on the A levels this year. She's also having, she always striving to be her best, and her GPA score, as you know, GPA, the maximum is 4. Okay, she has consistently getting 4, and the lowest that she has gotten is 3.92. Okay, so she also won many other awards and scholarships, as well as she's also a student leader, and in the span of 11 years, she has won 4 times the Eagles Award. Okay, this Eagles Award is a national acclaimed award for student leaders in the school. And not only that, she went into the national level where she is being recognized as a Next Gen Outstanding Student Leader Award in 2020. So she has certain traits, and my 2 children have certain traits that I wish to also share so that you all can understand what is the important things that we need to cultivate in our children. Okay, so number 1. Anybody want to guess, like, what is the first key trait? Shannon, want to guess? Okay, so you can tap inside, okay? Yeah, so what is the first trait? Number 1 is they make it happen, okay? These achievers, right, make things happen, whether it's a project or whether maybe it's just a simple sharing of a little project in the school, they make it happen. And the next one is the second one. Okay, you want to guess also good. Okay, you can put in the chat what is the second trait. Okay, these high achievers set goals for themselves, whether it's a small goal or it's a bigger goal. Okay, they always have a goal in mind. For example, they would like to be in a certain stream, they would like to be in a certain class, or they want to win certain things. So these achievers have certain ones in their lives, and they would want to have a goal, whether it's a small term, long term, or short term goal. And the third trait, okay, that's what's the third trait, is resilience. Okay, and all these achievers, right, definitely have some challenges, whether it's at school or maybe with their friends or their teammates or their teachers as well. So they will have the resilience to go through the challenges and tell themselves that they have to go on. So this is the most important as well among the 3 traits. All right. So what I'm here to actually share with you is that 4 key strategies that parents can focus on in order to raise high achievers. And I actually input all these key strategies into my course, my parenting course, my one-to-one coaching courses, so that parents can benefit from this and then can help their children, whether they are in failing grades to a passing grade, or maybe it's a B into wanting to an A. So these are all into my coaching programs, right? Okay, let me see. What's the first one? Okay, to me, the most important is a strong parent-child relationship. All right, so the parent-child relationship means that actually it's a way that we nurture our children, whether it's personally, emotionally, and socially, to help them in the development throughout the years, because we are the first teachers of our children, right? And this parent-child relationship is the foundation, okay, for the children to actually develop their own personalities. And the stronger we are in our parent-child relationship, right, you can find that they have more room for their improvements in different areas. So, for example, the socially, if they are very strong socially, physically, mentally, and emotionally, they can do a lot of other challenges outside the school, outside the home as well, right? So this is very important foundation. And when I do my coaching with my students, right, this is one thing I will make sure that is that if they're not so strong in the parent-child, we'll work towards it first. So this is the very first important foundation for all my coaching students. And as a mentor, it's important that whether the child and the parent whether they have same or aligned study kind of ideas, whether they are conflicting. If the child didn't like to study, but the parent is trying to stress the child to study, we have to come to a balance between them and reduce the conflicts so that we can start on to the next stage. Okay, so this is the first part. So the next slide will tell you the pictures, that you can see that will help you to know what are the influences of parents, okay, on children. Number 1 is their personality, okay. Number 2 is that you can affect in them the mentality and also their emotions, as well as physical, and also their social. So there's so many things we can influence our children around, okay? Okay, so I saw that there's some replies from our audience, okay? Faiza says children who are not motivated to study, determination and drive. That's really great. Okay, this is a part where I want to talk about the story. Okay, is that, if your child actually, I have a story about the parent, spending a lot of money from young, to groom the child to be, like I say, the potential singing classes, piano lessons, even public speaking. But some of these parents, right, they actually overlook the need to also groom them on their academics as well. So I also want to share the story that, yes, we want to groom them into maybe the next star, superstar, but when we want them to study is another separate issue. So we hope that the priorities must be very clear to the children. Where does it go to? Okay, so this is my story about the parents that I've seen, and that will actually okay, second point is about helping the child to practice self-control. Okay, so what's the definition of self-control? Okay, so self-control, okay, I have a question here. Okay, your children play online games and how you manage that? Okay, they're not distracted and focused. Okay, this is the best part. Okay, so about the question I'm going to talk about is the earlier you help your child to practice self-control, right, it's going to help a lot in those issues that you face now. For example, using of handphones, and also gaming. Okay, so I'm going to elaborate a bit more. What is self-control then? Right, self-control is a quality whereby the child has actually 2 possible actions. Okay, one that he can do to have immediate pleasure. Okay, and the other one is a delayed pleasure. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. Whether the child has 2 options, right? Revise his maths test, okay, revise his science, or he can actually watch the TV, right? So meaning to say, the child has 2 choices. And then immediately is that if I switch on the TV, I get a lot of, I see the cartoons and I'm happy, right? But if the child chooses to watch the TV first and delay the revision, you will find that the child may not want to stop watching the TV and the revision is actually stopped already. So importantly, how can we help the child to practice self-control? Okay, and importantly is that, and how we can help them to avoid the temptations, okay, when young. Okay, so we have this very interesting, this, of course, the self-control part is by scientists, okay, by professors. And you can see from this slide is that kids' self-control is crucial for their future success. Okay, so with that, right, This is a research by two professors, okay, over a span of 30 years, okay. So when in 1970s, they already started this, when they actually come out with 1,000 children, and then they see how they judge them according to whether they have self-control, what are the tests, etc. And you find that after that, the results came back is that the children, right, that has scored lower on the measures of self-control were more likely to have some issues compared to those children with higher self-control. For example, financially, right, those children with lower self-control will have problems in getting a job, the choice of job maybe because of their education, and then they also find that there are more possibility of being bankrupt, okay, or they have financial difficulties. And also these children with low self-control will also have higher chance of health problems. So for example, children that cannot control their sweet treats, all this, you'll find that yes, if they continue to adulthood, right, likelihood is that they will also have issues in trying to be fighting obesity or maybe high blood pressure, etc. So there is a very huge link between self-control and health issues as well. And children which have lower self-control compared to others, right, also tend to be involved in drugs as well as smoking. Okay, so that is why I say it's important we look at the science-based. And the marshmallow test, okay, so anyone know what is the marshmallow test? Okay, so and then Walter Mischel also wrote a book on it, okay, and it says, ask why self-control is the engine of success, right? So this test is very, very interesting, okay? So if you go to YouTube, you can Google what's the marshmallow test, and you can see the actual what is happening to the two kids, okay? So when the kids are being invited into a test, okay, marshmallow will be given, and they will tell the facilitator will tell the child, if you eat this marshmallow, you will not get another one later. But if you wait for me to come back, I'll give you 2 marshmallows. Okay, so then there will be this room with children, right? Or the 2 children or more, and we can see who has the most self-control. And the results actually talk about the longer that the child holds, right, the child will actually attain future success. For example, higher SAT scores, and also they have lesser behavioral issues. Okay, so this is very interesting, but it all ties up that we need to help our children to learn how to practice self-control. And of course, we know the engines of success is also grit, which is your willpower and your hard work, and also having a growth mindset. Okay, so this, we have finished the second. And what does it mean for me as a parent, right? So I think just now there's some question about this. It's patience. We can learn that, help the child to know that patience is actually a virtue, right? Teach good habits that reinforce discipline, and delayed gratification can bring you a further, a better pleasure than what you have now. For example, you study for a test, you get good grades and you feel happy, right? But now if the kid want to look at the handphone, of course, it's at the instant it's very happy, right? But if you get the good grades and you come back with lousy grades, then you also be unhappy as well. So it's a good way that we can teach children when they are young, okay, to restrain whatever they think is an instant gratification, but actually delayed to give you much better results. And number 3 is the third strategy is aim high. Okay, so as this is our conference driven 2022, right? So if our parents also have high expectations of themselves and their children, right, it also will give the children more confidence that they can do it, right? And this all comes to this very interesting called Pygmalion effect. Okay, so it actually is a research on teachers. Meaning to say, if the teachers have a better expectations of their students, the students' effect of their results will also be better. So we can all learn from this research into our parenting as well. So what it means that it's a simple scenario. Okay, if there's 2 groups of, there's real case about 2 children that one, okay, let's say child A, right? Okay, he's in a very loving, encouraging environment. Okay, IQ may not be as high as child B, but child B actually has very high IQ. But whenever he makes mistakes, right, the parents will actually nitpick on the mistakes, and the child will have more and more inferior complex. Okay, so child A will have a lot of confidence, and then the parents always have very high expectations. And when they grow up, right, they're very stark difference. Child B, although has high IQ, his academics is an underachiever. So I also teach this kind of expectations. I do goal setting with parents and their children so that we set high expectations. But not to worry that, some parents may feel that, high expectations means I'm giving stress to my child, okay? And that is not true. Okay, the child may actually fall below expectations, but maybe the efforts that he has shown, please praise the child, and the child will continue to do well. And if you don't aim, there'll be nothing for you. So parents out there, let's do some influencing of our children about what they can do in their next test or exam, and we go through with them and give high expectations and also encourage them to try. All right. And my very fourth point and my last point is help the child to focus on to get tasks done. Okay. So be a go-getter. So I always, in my coaching sessions, right, for children that have either it's motivation issues or have focus issues, right, I always help the child and the parent to actually do simple tasks that they can do, and then they'll be happy to do more. Okay, so this is coming from this psychologist. She's called Angela, Ducksworth. What she has this book says about perseverance, right? So importantly, we must help the child to focus on one job, get it done well, and then that will push them to have the mentality that they can do the next job better. All right, so go and. So what is the summary of my 4 key strategies, right? Number 1 will be having a very strong parent-child relationship that will help your child to propel even further, okay? And second point is about helping the child to practice self-control, right? Helping the child to have a feel of, if you delay your instant gratification, right, you have something else that will be waiting for you that's better. And aim high, parents. So I'm here to inspire every single parent here that, you have the influence to help your child to be better than what the child world is now, okay? And lastly is to help the child to get all the tasks done, okay? And then the child will know that they have the confidence to do it better the next time. All right, so these are my 4 strategies. And here is my link, which I think later on there will be further information about. On this link again, take a snapshot, on the link, and you can go to exclusively, a lot of parents have come to my webinar and learned so much. And I hope that you can come to a webinar soon, and then you will know how you can help a child to ace the exams, right? Exclusively for you. And yes, I'm on Facebook and YouTube, and then do join me because I have content to share with all the parents out there who want that little difference in your child's lives, okay? So that's all for my sharing, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasline. All right, so can you all type in CCC for Jasline? Type in CCC for Jasline. CCC means clap, clap, clap.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so I see self-control is good for children. Okay. Wow, a lot of people have gotten a lot of great insights from Jasline.
Thank you.
Yes. Awesome.
Anyone have any question for Jasline?
Yeah.
I think we can take maybe about 1 or 2 questions from the ground.
Yep.
Especially the parents, wow.
I think someone who asked some question about language just now.
Really good. Did anybody ask about language just now?
Yeah.
Jason says, learn so much. Blessing to all, Ginny. Okay, let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit more to see the questions. Okay, is there any question that you want to take
What do
from here?
your kids do for fun? How often do they have fun? They have fun all the time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Really? Do they have
Yeah.
fun studying also?
Oh yes, they are very passionate about studying.
Oh, wow. Like,
Interesting, right?
yeah, interesting. Because
Yeah.
usually it's
I also
like,
want to mention.
studying so hard. Yeah.
No, they love studying.
Mm.
And actually, there was a time when they said that there was a time there's no exams, remember? And they were quite upset.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Because to them, tests and exams is a chance for them to show their ability.
Showcase they are good.
Yeah, and then to test themselves.
Mm.
And but fun is actually they are on handphones, on YouTube all the time. Yeah, but importantly is they have a goal and they will achieve it. So it's important we have to cultivate that kind of innate abilities. And you find that your parenting is so much easier.
Wow, so if you really want to have your kids also to be like Jasline's kids,
Passionate about studying.
like what, mind blown. How does that happen? Yeah, then
Correct.
you really must go and talk to
I was
her.
also blown too.
Yeah. Okay, so really go and download her free gift for all of you. Okay, that she has kindly decided to give to
I think
everyone.
they're asking about a free webinar link.
Oh, okay.
So can we put up the link again? Maybe I just show one more time.
The previous one.
Previous one.
Yeah, this is
Okay, so it's bit.ly/web
especially for your
driven. Yeah, especially for your
How come it
needs.
disappear?
Yep.
Never mind. Okay, just next slide.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, there you go.
5 seconds more, y'all. Faster take photo, take
Yeah,
your phone.
screenshot.
Yeah, you must.
Okay. Yes,
Patrick and Patrick, yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. I think it's they find that the more they go in depth about that subject, okay, like my daughter, she's passionate about bio. Okay, your thing is nuts, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of terms to it. But she's so passionate. You know? She can even like tutor a child because she knows that the child loves bio but cannot get the grades, right? So she is that passionate. She finds that she can remember a lot of terms and she can score. Okay, and that's why I feel it's important. We must build confidence in the child first, and that's when they find that one subject can actually turn to another subject, and they will be more confident to do more.
Oh yeah, I wish that last time when I was a kid, I had somebody like you, who can teach my parents how to teach me. But never mind. Okay, now we have the resources right here for you to be able to teach your children instead. Okay. Any questions that you want to ask?
There's another question from Joyce.
Yes.
How to help kids excellent in both math and science, but not languages?
But why do you feel that? I mean, to me, a question is, I feel languages is important to help in both maths and science, especially in primary school, because there's problem sum is a very big problem in primary school. If you can't have very good language skills, right, it's very difficult. I would say it's very difficult. Okay, it's not impossible, but it's difficult. So I will feel that language is the most important. The ability to write, read, okay, is so important. Because as you go in a higher levels, like secondary school, right, you have to write a lot. And a lot of students, they don't want to. Okay, and then they actually lost marks because they do not want to write.
Okay. So must be able to articulate well, and for you to do that, the language must of course have a certain level. I think very importantly is to really have the interest. I think that's really one of the key learning lessons. That studying is difficult because we don't have the interest in it. And why gaming is so fun and why people love game, because they have an interest in it and they enjoyed it. So how can we make studying, you enjoy studying, then it becomes it doesn't become something that you avoid, but something that you actually look forward to. And actually I got one case study, I think for my own personal example, is that still remember when I first started learning abacus. I was really interested in it and I love it a lot. So I still remember last time they have this like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 for all the different books, right? The first week when I came back from abacus, within I think the same day I completed all the book already.
Wow.
I just spent hours and hours. I just keep doing it because I enjoy it. So to me, I wasn't thinking it as a homework or something that is a chore, but I just enjoy. And when I go to the school and the teacher praise me and say, "Wow, you complete all the book." Wow, the satisfaction is different. So I write on that kind of excitement.
The praise is important, right?
I was going to say the praise is important. So like let's say for languages, right? You don't harp on the kids that why you get your grammar wrong, your spelling
you should be very
is
positive
wrong.
about it. And also lead them along the way, how they can get it right is important.
Exactly. So the praise, I think, is one key point. There's definitely way more tips that Jasline, has to share with all of you. So, but due to time constraints, we are so sorry. We have to say goodbye to Jasline already.
Can we have
So everyone, please say thank you to Jasline.
Yes.